Good evening. It's an honor and a joy to be here today to make this presentation to you. I would like, first of all, to thank our house, Nekafla, for the opportunity that it's given me to talk to you today a little bit about a very important topic, I believe. The fact that some of the things that pose challenges to us in our lives can also open up a series of opportunities. But first, let us start with a prayer or a little meditation so that will get into the right mood. So I ask you, first of all, to close your eyes, to breathe deeply, rhythmically, to feel the air that is entering your body. And this air is bringing you emotions, feelings. It is also bringing you energy, love, compassion, hope, understanding. And as you breathe in and you breathe out, you feel your body relax. You feel your body becoming in phase with the universe, in phase with all of God's creations, in phase with nature, in phase with your fellow human beings. And little by little, we feel within ourselves calm, peace, and we can then find ourselves in a place of quiet within our souls. And there, next to our spiritual essence, we can feel the vibrations that are coming from all over the universe, from all the planets, from this world, as well as from the other world. And little by little, we feel these vibrations that have different signatures, that have different tones, and we can identify them. We can feel a little bit of the love that a mother feels for a child. We can feel the emotions that we feel when we say our last goodbyes to a friend. But at the same time, we are filled with hope. We are filled with love. And then we can share these feelings, these emotions, with all of those that are around us, whether they are incarnate or disincarnate. And in this way, we can also send them a little bit of ourselves. Let us think of all the good spirits that are all around us. They will help us tonight in our quest for an understanding, in our quest for truth. They will help us tonight by protecting us, by loving us, by being patient with us. Let us thank them for their help. Let us also thank all those suffering spirits that are here with us tonight, those that are in the dark, those that are suffering, those that are crying, those that are in confusion. Let us then send them some light, some love, some understanding, some compassion, so that they can once again rise up and walk towards the light. Rise up and take a step in the right direction. Let us also thank our Lord Jesus Christ for all the help He gives us every day, for all the love He puts in our hearts. He who gave us a fabulous inheritance, an inheritance of love, of sacrifice, an inheritance that clears the way, that shines a light in the darkness, and that allows us to traverse the desert, allows us to find the good ports in the storm, and the light that will guide us towards the top of the mountain, where we can one day approach our Creator. Let us finally ask our Father, the Almighty, to bless us and to give us His permission so that we can begin our talks of today. Thank you. There is a saying that there is no such a thing as a free lunch. But today, the topic that we are talking about is the best things in life are free. And why would I talk about this today? The reason I'm talking about it is because I remember a story that happened to me some time ago, an incident. And this incident was what we can call a near-death experience. It was a Sunday afternoon. I had just taken a bike ride with my daughter here in Brussels. And there's nothing that can make a father happier than to be with his daughter, my youngest daughter. And at the end of the day, while I was resting at home, lying on a sofa, all of a sudden, the lights went out. And the next thing I knew, I was in a hospital, surrounded by a lot of people with worried faces. And a male nurse, while humming a tune, which I can't remember what it was, started working on me, putting in tubes, taking out tubes. And he said that I had a problem with my heart. And at the same time, right here, around this area here, while I was lying down, a young man came in. He was a young doctor because he was dressed like a doctor. And he looked like someone that came from maybe Northern Africa, Morocco or Algeria. But he was very young. He was about 25, 26 years old. And I was thinking to myself, is he good enough to treat me? Is he experienced enough to treat me? And all of a sudden, again, the lights went out. And I saw other lights. I had other experiences, other feelings. But then I came back. And the young doctor was no longer there. But everyone in the emergency room was happy. They were congratulating themselves. They said, we brought this one back. So there were other details, but they are not important for what I have to tell you tonight. This incident, this near-death experience, in fact, was a warning that I received. I may have gone upstairs to see the man. And he said, well, you still need to work. You still have a lot to do. Go back down. I was still too big to go through the narrow door. But I took it as a warning. I took it as a gift from God. It was, in fact, what we call in today, when we talk about computers, a reset of my life. A reset of my life. It gave me the opportunity of assessing where I was, assessing where was I in this long track. And this happened several years ago. What was important in my life? What was important in my life? What was central to my life? Was it important to have more material things? What is it central to my life to have 2 cars? Was it central to my life to have a beautiful house? Where was I going? Where was I going? What did I learn from all the living I had done so far? And what were the lessons that I learned while I was here? And this warning was basically telling me, look, my friend, look, my brother, you have more time behind you than in front of you. So it's time for you to start worrying about how you're going to continue to live down here. What are you going to learn? Are you going to learn more? And what was important for me? And then with this reset, I understood that what was important was spiritual development. What was central to my life was me learning as much as I could while I was incarnate in order for me to reach the highest possible moral level while I was here. And I also learned by this that charity was really the key. Charity was really the key to my happiness. That love was very important. But above all, I had to learn how to love God, accept God, love myself, accept myself as I am, as I was at that time, and go towards my neighbor, love my neighbor as I would love myself. I remember after I left this emergency room, I went to a hospital that was specialized in people who had had the problems I had at that time, a problem with the heart rhythm. And they tied me to a lot of machines, various machines. And I had to stay linked to these machines for about 10 days. And it was a very difficult experience because the most simple things that you can do every day, like cleaning yourself, washing yourself, walking around, became a real production. It was really difficult to do. But what was also extremely important is that my day was divided into 3 parts. The first part was before my family came to visit me. The second part was while my family was visiting me. And then the third part was after my family left. So right there, I understood that my family was extremely important to me, was a central part of my life. My wife, my children, extremely important. They were, in fact, I was convinced at that time, they were part of my mission, part of my tasks. And I also started to think, where am I going? Am I going towards God? Am I going towards perfection? Am I going towards bettering myself? And little by little, some of these lessons began to penetrate my soul. The first lesson, after I left the hospital after 10, 12 days, was to look around, and even in a city like Brussels, to see how beautiful the world is, how wonderful life is, how magnificent everything that God has made is. The fact that you could, even on a overcast day, you could hear the birds, you could feel the warmth of the sun behind the clouds, was wonderful to me. The fact that I could go to a park here in Brussels and walk. The first time I could only walk 100 meters. But I walked 100 meters and I sat down on the same bench that I always sat down when my children were small and I was playing with them in the park. And I was overwhelmed with happiness. Oh my God, this is wonderful. To do such simple things. Just to look at the birds, just to listen to them, just to look at the trees moving in the breeze, just to feel the sun on your skin, just to be able to walk on the grass. And I really understood at that time that love is all around us. Love is all around us. God created a perfect world, and the world is wonderful. The world is wonderful. It is there for us to seize. It is there for us to seize the day so that we can all enjoy this time that we are here while we learn. I also was thinking that we are not what we own. We are not our property. We are not our houses. We are not our cars. We are not our clothes. These are just means to an end. These are just things that God gave to us or lent to us so that we could achieve our mission, that we could achieve our tasks. And we are certainly not what we do. We are certainly not what we do. We are not defined by what we do. We are not defined because we are an executive in a multinational company. We are not defined because we work at an office. We are not defined because we teach at a university. We're not defined because we are a doctor at the hospital. No. We are not defined by these are just roles. These are just whole roles that we have. And most of them are actually temporary roles. So we are not defined by that. We are defined by what we have inside, what we have in our hearts, what we have in our conscience. And all of these things, all this understanding, all of this beauty all around them was there for free. It was always there for me. But up to that point, sometimes I felt deprived. I felt like I didn't have everything. I felt that I was somehow inadequate. But in fact, all of these things are there for you. If your life lacks beauty, then maybe you should look around. There is lots of beauty there. The world, as it's said in the spirit of philosophy, is a planet of light and darkness. Is a planet where one can alternate states of happiness and sadness. But we need to really look at what works. We really need to look also at the light, because Light is the only thing that can drive away darkness. Doesn't mean that you're going to ignore darkness. No, it's not that. Absolutely not. But we have to be able to act in order to shine a light onto darkness. We have to act in every day so that we bring light to this world. We bring goodness to this world, because only goodness can chase evil. So if we want a better world, we have to become within ourselves this better world. We are in fact defined by our spiritual state. By our spiritual state. How we are as spirits. You can be in a situation where it's sunny outside, everything is beautiful, the weather is fantastic, there is a beach, there is the mountain, there are flowers everywhere, but you are feeling sad. Inside, it's all darkness. So the first thing you have to do, we have to do, and you have to do, is to change your inside. Is to change the way you perceive the world. You perceive the world. I have a great admiration for a woman called Eleanor Roosevelt, and she was the wife of a president of the United States, Franklin Roosevelt. And she was a very intelligent person, and she has a saying that nobody can make you feel inferior without your permission. And essentially what she's saying is that if you feel something bad, is because this something bad is already inside you. So if you want to feel love in your heart, you have to chase away negative feelings from your heart. If you want to be generous, you have to chase away egoism. You have to chase away negative things that you have in your heart. If you want to feel love, you cannot feel love and hate at the same time. So if you want to feel love, you have to chase away hate. If you want to be humble, then you cannot be prideful. So you have to work at these things. And we have every day to look within ourselves in order to improve ourselves, to see who we are. And it's a work for a whole incarnation, or perhaps several incarnations. We need, in fact, to discover within ourselves a diamond, a shiny, beautiful diamond that is laying right next to our spiritual essence. That is our spiritual essence. And we need then to evolve, to develop, to find new missions, to find new tasks. And we also need to get out of our comfort zone. Sometimes we're in the habit of doing the same things that we always done, because that is the easiest thing that we can do. But if you do whatever you always did before, you're basically going to most likely get the same results. So if you want to change the results in your life, then you have to change the way you behave. And sometimes changing the way we behave is uncomfortable. We don't like to do it because we are unfamiliar with it. We don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes we are afraid of what we are going to become. We are afraid of what we're going to become. But we have to face it. We have to get out of this comfort zone. I tell you, most of the things that you have done in life that have been really important, really creative, came out of a period of discomfort. I remember that when I was a young man, a very young man, I saw a beautiful girl on the other side of a classroom, and it was basically love at first sight. And but I was afraid. Should I go there? Should I talk to her? She's so beautiful. I'm so ugly. I mean, she's going to say, "Get away from me." So I was very uncomfortable. But what did I do? I took fear by the hand and I approached this girl and we talked. And we've been talking ever since for over 40 years. So it is very, very important then that you are comfortable getting out of your comfort zone. Look for new opportunities. Look for new opportunities. Look for opportunities to learn, for opportunities to love, for opportunities to help. Because one of the keys to happiness is to help other people. Every person that I ever met that was really, truly loving other people without asking anything in return, they were really being charitable. Every one of these people were happy. I can give you many examples of people like, for example, Divaldo Franco, a Brazilian medium that helps a lot of children, helps everybody in person. He's a very happy person. He's always happy, although he's physically at 92, 93, suffering physically. But he's always helping people. He's always in a good mood. So my mother was like that as well. She was most of the time, 95% of the time, she was in a good mood because she was trying to help people. And even today, when she's on the other side, she's helping people. She's helping all of these people that are arriving at the other side of the mirror. So look for new challenges to bring life to the world, to inspire your fellow human beings, to inspire them. Give them an example that they can follow. If you have contact with children, give them an example they can follow. You have freedom to bring hope to people. You have freedom to listen to people, to listen to what they have to say. There is today a deficit in this world, principally here in Europe, of listening. People don't listen. People judge before they listen. Listen to people. Lend them a friendly ear without judgment, without trying to reform them. They don't need your judgment. They need your love. They need your understanding. They need your compassion. And this is very important. Every time you see someone that is there on the corner by himself or by herself, isolated, sometimes behind a wall that they build themselves sometimes, knock on the wall and say hello. Try to help them. If they don't want to talk to you, respect that. But try to listen, try to help them. Bring hope. Hope is extremely important for people. Men and women live with hope. And in fact, the hope that you give somebody is a form of love. Is a form of love. So give hope. And it is very important that each one of us put love at the center of our lives, at the center of our lives. Not just the life that we are living today as incarnate spirits, but our infinite life. Each step that we take should be a loving step, a step that we take towards love. Each time that we have a barrier that stops us from loving someone, go around it. So we have to learn to take the time to see the light, to relax, to enjoy life, to enjoy other people. People sometimes can be bad. They can sometimes betray you. They can somebody treat you badly, but you have no choice but to love. And as a friend of mine said many, many years ago, the love I give you is secondhand because I felt it first. The love I give you is secondhand because I felt it first. So that is the law of action and reaction. If you give love, you receive love in return. So if you want to be loved, you have to love. Simple as that. Even if you have been disappointed in the past, even if you have had, as they say in French, chagrin d'amour, if you have had difficulties in love, you still need to love. You can love a child, you can love a father, a mother, a pet, a friend. And believe me, the day you start the process of going to the other side, remember, there will be a final exam. There will be a final exam, just like I had when I went to hospital. There will be a final exam, or almost final exam, as in my case. And every time, and you will see at that final exam that every time that you withheld love from somebody else, you will feel the suffering of that person. You will feel the suffering. So do not withhold love. Give love to your enemies, give love to your friends, give love to everyone around you. And it is very important then to give this love and also to see the beauty that is around us, to see the beauty in people. Sometimes even behind the most difficult person, there is beauty there. Go towards them. Sometimes you'll be surprised. And as I said before, take time to feel and to give love. Remember, we have been given so much. We have been given so much by God. More than we deserve, in fact. We need so much, but we still sometimes want more. We want what we don't have. But remember, whatever God gave you in a particular life, He gave you for a purpose, and that purpose is to develop yourself. That purpose is to help your neighbor. That purpose is to help improve the universe. So put it all these things that God gave you, put it to good use. If God gave you wealth, give back some of this wealth. Be charitable. Help those that are in need. And one other point which I'd like to make is that sometimes we live in our own prisons. We create the prisons that we live in. And we need to break out of this prison. We need to break out. Sometimes, because, for example, we don't like ourselves, we have a certain animosity towards ourselves. We live in sadness, we live in revolt, we live in anger. But remember, you are the only person that can open the door and get you out of that prison. You are the only person that can do it. Nobody else can do it. Other people can help you. Yes, your family can help you. Your loves can help you, but no one can get you out unless you want to get out yourself. So work towards that. Work towards getting yourself out of these prisons that you built yourself. We all know people that because they don't like that themselves, they don't like their spirit, that the state of their spirit, their spiritual state, they commit a long suicide, for example. They start smoking, drinking, doing drugs when they're young, and all to the end of their lives. They shorten their lives because they don't like themselves. So these are prisons that we created ourselves, that we accepted ourselves. And I'm not saying this in any sense of criticizing people who are like that. They sometimes cannot help it. But try to break away from this prison. Go towards the light. Go towards the light. We are what we think. We are what we think. So try to tune in to good things. We as spirits, and we all, in one way or another, we are mediums. And mediumship is a natural phenomenon. It's not something mysterious. And we can tune to various spirits. But if you only tune to spirits that are not elevated, then all you're going to get is impulses that are not elevated as well. So if you want to go towards the light, you have to tune in to elevated thoughts. Go towards love, go towards compassion, go towards charity. Let us become better people. Let us become better people. Let us become better brothers, better sisters, better children of God. We all need help from time to time. Sometimes we can go through the desert. Sometimes we can go to periods where we feel sad, we feel down. But remember, we travel alone. We travel alone. God created us, gave us eternal life. But he sent us on our quest towards perfection alone. And every time we cross from one world to another, we do it alone. Obviously, on one side or another, there will be people there that we know. Sometimes we are followed by our spiritual families for a long while. But our quest is an individual quest. And it is very important that every day, you try to assess where we are. Where am I? Am I progressing? Am I going forward? Am I lighter today than I was yesterday? Can I forgive more and better today than I could yesterday? And if we do that, then little by little, we become better people, better spirits. We elevate ourselves naturally. You don't have to force ourselves. We become charitable naturally. And this is something that we always have to keep in mind. So go forth and try to improve ourselves. Go forth and try to become a better person, a better spirit, a better human being. And I am sure that the rewards will come to you in this life as well as in a future life. So thank you very much. I will now give a short meditation. And I want to first, before I do that, I want to thank you all for being here. And see you next time. So let's just do a little meditation. Let us now close our eyes and breathe deeply, trying to feel the energy that are circulating all around us. Energies of love, energies of hope, energies of compassion. Let us also go within ourselves to be near our essence. And there we can see a beautiful mountain. We can see that mountain is covered with snow. that below the mountain there is a meadow, and this meadow is full of flowers. And each one of these flowers can represent a sentiment, can represent an emotion, can represent love, can represent compassion. And let us make a bouquet of each one of these various flowers. And let us offer these flowers to all of those spirits that are here with us, those that have been with us for the last few minutes, those that have inspired us, those that have helped us. Each one of these spirits deserves these flowers of love, deserves these flowers of compassion, these flowers of hope, these flowers of understanding. Each one of these spirits can now feel that we love them, feel that we are their brothers, their sisters. Let us thank them for being here, for being with us tonight. Let us ask them to walk towards the light. Let us ask them to take these flowers into their hearts so that they will be able to reach the mountaintop. And that one day they will be there with us, near our Father. Let us thank also all of the good spirits that have helped us tonight. Those that have protected us, those that have inspired us, those that have helped us. Let us ask Jesus for his love, for his protection. Let us thank him for being with us at each step of the way. And finally, let us call upon our Father, the Almighty, to thank him for the opportunity that he gave us today of being here, for the opportunity of being incarnate, for the life, for eternal spiritual life that he created for us. And then finally, let us ask his permission to close our talks for today. Amen. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you next time, at another day. Bye-bye.